Welcome to NocBro Nation.
Welcome back, guys.
Hey guys, today we are here excited for another installment of Walking Dead issue 176 review.
Part 2, New World Order.
Yeah, so as you can see, ladies and gentlemen, I am actually holding up the variant cover, which is by Bill Zawinski?
Zankiewicz.
Wow, how did I get... Anyway, our comic shop actually got shorted on the cover A, so the original cover. So we only have, at the moment, the variant cover.
Yep, the 15th anniversary kind of artistry cover. The Michonne one was really cool. The Rick one was really cool. Stay tuned for our other video for the next 3 issues that have been released on those.
Yep, definitely. So another, I think I had it in the prediction video that we would be centered only around the Commonwealth for this issue.
Yes.
Yeah, I was right.
You were definitely right.
I'm getting the sense, though, that this entire arc is just going to be at the Commonwealth. That's the whole point of the arc.
Yeah, I think so too. And probably by the end, we'll see it kind of maybe veer back to normal, but it's going to be the Commonwealth for this entire arc.
It's weird not having Rick around.
It's weird. It is weird.
Yeah.
It is weird.
Or Negan.
But this issue was amazing.
Yeah, definitely. It was.
So good.
So let's get into it. We pick up right where we left off, and that is Michonne realizing that her daughter is searching for her.
Yep. And they're still standing at the massive picture wall, and I think Eugene asked her, "Are you okay?" And I forgot the guy's name already. The guy that brought them to the Commonwealth. He's like, kind of in a way, like, what's going on here? Like, why are you guys stopping? We need to proceed. And Michonne is like, take me to this bakery right now.
Yeah, she demands immediate. Like, she grabs him, as you can see in your left-hand corner.
Right-hand corner.
My left-hand corner. Like, literally grabs him, almost pulls him off of the horse.
She's like, I wasn't asking.
Yeah.
Do it now. But he's like, look, I can't take you there. We have to proceed on to where I have to take you because, like we said before, or not from the previous issue, they have to go through an initiation. So they have to bring them to the leader that we don't know of who yet, and they have to decide whether they're allowed to even go to the bakery in a sense, to even walk the streets.
It's kind of weird because, well, he's kind of an a-hole.
He's kind of a dick
because he says, she's shocked, right? My daughter's alive. She's looking for me, and he turns and says, no, she was alive.
She was alive.
And I kind of get it, right? Because a lot of those pictures were put up in the very beginning of the Commonwealth. We got to assume that was maybe like a small group of people, and now they've grown to 50,000. Right?
And that's what he said. He said there's been a lot of people up there that didn't come back or they didn't get found. So who knows? And I think Magna says, "Yeah, you're kind of a dick." And he's like, or she's like, "Are you trying to be funny?" He's like, I know I am funny.
So he's very particular that.
Yeah, he's a little prick. But.
So we get a couple of panels. I love how they did this too. It's 2 full-page panels of kind of our first looks inside of the Commonwealth.
I think that's still the football stadium because it's got the lights in the left-hand corner, and then probably there's other buildings, looks like homes, maybe apartment buildings surrounding it, and that's, I think, the stadium or the I don't know what you want to call it. The entranceway is kind of their kind of meeting room, but
and guys, for new subscribers or those of you that have not gotten a chance to see our video our reviews yet, we're kind of looking down at the copy.
Right.
We don't have that great of memories.
Well, we do, but we're doing a lot of content. We're reading a lot of comics, and we just like to have it in front of us so we can kind of see what we missed. But anyway,
the next full-page panel is kind of a shot of their marketplace. A small shot of I'm guessing a view of down a street, and we get a lot of activity. Like there's people selling newspapers, there's people selling goods.
This reminds me of where the governor was. That town.
Woodbury.
Yeah, it reminded me of Woodbury when I saw some of these buildings.
Like this is almost like Woodbury, and that's it, right? This would be Woodbury. It's really, very small, 1-block community.
Exactly. They have tents up. They have sale signs up. There's just a big, huge thing going on. And this next part is very interesting.
One thing that I did notice in these first 2 panels, real quick, before we move on, very clean.
Very clean.
Like, spotless almost.
I don't believe it. 50,000? Yeah, they'd be trash and poop all over the place.
And we kind of get a little hint as to why that could be happening soon.
Yeah, So this next part, we see a woman who was yelling at Eugene, and Eugene says, "Stephanie, are you Stephanie?" And this turns out that is Stephanie. Yep. She was not able to meet them. She's yelling at God, I forgot his name again. Huckle. Oh, I'm gonna screw it up. Anyway.
Yeah, that is really pissing me off.
That's not Huckleberry, but anyway. She's yelling at him, or he's like, "Hey, get back, Stephanie. You are not authorized to be here." And he's like, she was saying, "I was the one who was supposed to meet them. They seem like a very curious people. We need to have them trust us."
Well, they're a very, what's the word she used?
Curious.
Curious. No, well, they're cautious.
Cautious, yeah, excuse me. Yeah, cautious.
They're very cautious. So she knows what they're like.
Right.
And you know, Mr. Buttersworth, that's what I'm going to call him, you know, doesn't really know them, obviously doesn't trust them, and wants to go through this process. Stephanie, what's really another thing that's interesting here is that he actually tells Stephanie, "Look, your little radio experiment, we thought we had that under control.
We gave you a pass on that."
Yeah, we gave you a pass on that.
Yeah.
Maybe we should realign your work duties. We can find something that I'm sure you won't like, or something like that. So
yeah,
you know, he's really strict, right?
Yeah, so it made me think like, so they must be, you know, giving work assignments to these people to help out, and he was telling Stephanie, you know, you were not qualified to even do the whole trust piece. You know, that is up to, you know, whoever else.
Yeah.
But yeah, reassigning her work to something that she's not going to enjoy is not good. And she's standing there with her head down. And even Michonne looks like, oh my God, what the heck is going on?
Was it just you, or did Stephanie kind of look like a, I forgot her name from
Scooby-Doo, yeah. She looked like her, it was it Daphne?
Daphne, I think it was.
Maybe Daphne, yeah. She did look like that, yeah.
All right, so we walk into what appears to be kind of a greeting room. It's almost like
it's like a kiosk, because there's like they're gonna get tickets to go somewhere. It's like there's a kiosk there, you know, will call area. It's weird.
Yeah, and a gentleman in a suit who exhibits kind of some strange behavior, mainly from the questions that he's asking. So the group arrives, and he immediately wants to know what they used to be, you know, what their profession was before the end of the world, before the apocalypse.
Yeah, his name is Maxwell Hawkins, and he's all dressed in a nice suit, bald head, kind of reminded me of the Mr. Clean guy. And yeah, so he asks, "What did you guys do before?" And Eugene says, "I was a high school science teacher." And he's
that's not good.
He's like, "Nope, I don't like that." He's like, "What about you?" And he's talking to the princess, and she's like, "Oh, I was in retail, and I was doing a bunch of other stuff." And I'm imagining that's how she talks, because she's very hyper. Yeah. And he's like, "No, that's enough. What about you?" And he goes to Michonne, and she's like, "A lawyer." And he was like, "A public defender?" And she was like, "No, it was more private practice. I just became partner." Yeah. And he's like, "You'll do. Come with me." And so the big reveal.
Yes.
We meet the governor of the Commonwealth.
Yeah, the governor.
Pamela Milton.
Yeah, Pamela Milton.
And she is very proper.
So she welcomes Michonne in.
Yeah.
And introduces herself, you know, says, "Michonne, please have a seat. I am the governor. I'll start by explaining who we are," and kind of goes into this process of, you know, the Commonwealth brought order back to a chaotic world.
They are a beacon of light.
They are a beacon of light.
We're 50,000 strong. This is what you all have been dreaming of. Civilization is back. You're welcome. Like, wow.
And Michonne's just standing there with that pissed off, her usual pissed off look on her face. And she says, you know, what am I supposed to be grateful, or
thank you, or something like that?
Am I supposed to thank you or something?
Pamela says, if you're polite, then yes. But I mean, she's standing and she's got two, armed guards standing beside her. Basically from how it looks on the cover of 176, and the reason is, she's kind of Michonne is impatient. She wants to find her daughter. But she's going through the process. She doesn't reveal that yet. She doesn't reveal that yet. She's going through the process. She actually sits down in front of Pamela and says, "Okay." Pamela's like, "Let's cut this tension. Let's just have a conversation." And Michonne's like, "I'm interviewing. Who knows if we want to stay here?" Yeah, and that's the key. Like, here's the governor thinking, like, "Great, we've found these people, and we're bringing them in. We're bringing them through this process so that they can be a part of this community." Right. But Michonne's like, "Okay, who said we want to be a part of this community?" Exactly. Like, I'm interviewing you more than you're interviewing me. Exactly. So yeah. What if I don't want to be here? All right, so we get back with the crew, and they're outside talking with Lance Hornsby. Finally remembered his name. Yeah. Because they weren't allowed in. And this is a very interesting part because he's telling them, "Look, you're waiting here. Yeah. You just have to wait." It's almost like they're in a waiting room. They are. And he tells them, Eugene asks, "What are we waiting for?" Mm-hmm. Lance actually tells him, "Well, depending on how things go, is whether we're going to let you tour the community, whether we're going to let you further into the Commonwealth and explore," is what he said. Or we'll make you leave. Yeah. We'll walk you right out. Or we will make you leave. And this next piece is pretty cool because we still don't know what this is, but there's a couple brutes coming back from battle. And they're like, "Man, that was in a way a good time," or "I'm glad we're back. I'm going to shower for like a week." And the guy's like, "I'm going to nap for like a week. I'm so tired." Yeah, and a lot of that was you can see the remains on their armor. Right. So this was the group that actually ran into the Magenta Swarm. As Lance and our survivors were making their way to the Commonwealth. Yeah, and they said that in a sense they took them out. They were like, Mercer is gonna laugh, or he's gonna be mad that he wasn't there to take this swarm out. We don't know if he's a lieutenant. We just know it's officer. In issue 177, the synopsis is "Meet Officer Mercer." He's the guy in the red. Yeah. And that's who they were referencing. Is he's going to be upset that he wasn't there to kill off swarms because he likes doing that. So we did a video on what is the Magenta Swarm. We still don't know. It's like, did they already kill them all? Yeah. That's it? Yeah. We're not going to know what this Magenta Swarm is? But yeah, so Lance actually turns to them and says, how'd it go? Or, something along the lines of that. Good to see you guys. Yeah, good to see you. And the troops turned back and said everything was fine. We only had to regroup twice, which was crazy. So they're very well trained. And then basically congratulates them on the work that they've done. Go take a nap. You deserve it. Right. Because that's what he says. Like, Mercer has trained you well. Yeah. And they're like, "We're a well-oiled machine, sir. Thank you." So we got that little nugget of Mercer. So can't wait to find out that he's getting pimped out. Can't wait for that. So I just said pimped out. Pimped out. You got to pimp it out. So we get back with Pamela and Michonne, and they're kind of having their back and forth. And this is more Pamela talking about what the Commonwealth is, and their whole ideal is they're a well-oiled machine. They want order in the right way, or things become chaos. And I think chaos. And she even says to Michonne about looking at you, you're an engine. Because she mentions about people, there's followers and there's leaders. Yep. But you seem more like the leader type. You're more of an engine. Keep this motorcade going. The engine is what makes it go, and that's what I feel you are. All these people are pieces of a puzzle. Right. And puzzles have to fit right. Mm-hmm. So it's almost like this is kind of at the point where I kind of started getting uncomfortable vibes a little bit for the governor, because it almost seems like they're finding, and going back to the introduction, or Stephanie and her job and her role and her replacement, it kind of just brings bad vibes because maybe they're being forced into these jobs. Exactly. And then, we still don't know exactly what's going on, but the title of the arc is New World Order. And from her explanation, they thrive on order. Yeah. And for 50,000 people, that's a lot to do. So, it's just, she even turns to the brute and she's like, even the brutes know what's going on here. She was like, right? And he's like, yes, ma'am, we do. It's like they're almost not really brainwashed, but they they've been set in their ways for so long. They know
there's order.
There's order.
And she makes very different kinds of analogies for their order. Like belts and pulleys, screws, and what happens if something gets stuck in there and it shreds apart
the machine, basically.
And it's chaos, and it's now we know how they've survived this long with that many people, and that's because there is probably some strict order going on.
Yeah, it's really crazy. And Michonne gets pissed off. She's like, look, okay, you need to stop. I was trying to get through this a little bit quicker, and you're just blabbling on, basically. And Pamela asks her, is there something wrong? And Michonne's like, look, my daughter is looking for me. She wrote a note on the wall. It's her. She's here, supposedly. I want to go to this freaking bakery to find out. And she's like, if you really want me to join the Commonwealth or have a good idea about this place, let me hear it from her.
Exactly.
Since she's here, supposedly.
And this is one of those moments where I went from being not so sure about the governor to now, okay, maybe she's okay. Because she immediately says, from a mother myself, I understand exactly where you're coming from. Let's go now. And she says, I'm taking you to the bakery.
And before that, she kind of says, I am really surprised
that you
how calm you were being with me this whole time, that your restraint was so good. She was like dumbfounded by it. But even though she said, I'm a mother, I'm a daughter, I'm a mother too, it's kind of like we saw her sensitive side, but we really don't know. She could be very brutal.
My whole thinking was like she didn't have to get up and take Michonne directly to the bakery. So it shows a little semblance of maybe some human part of her, right. But still, there's good vibes and bad vibes still at this point.
Yeah. The end of this issue is, man, it made me feel really good. Yeah. So we'll get into that. So they're making their way to the bakery, and the guy on the inside was like, Governor, it's an honor to see you. And she's like, don't make a deal of it. like I normally don't come in this wasteland. And so, like, you know what I'm saying? Like, it's like she was too good. Like, she doesn't normally walk around the town because she really didn't know that was the place. She was like, I think this is it. Like she's too good to walk around the city and meet people. Don't make a deal of it. Yeah, this will never happen again.
We don't know, right?
We don't know. Yeah.
Yeah, and that's the thing. Like, we want to know more about the governor, right. And maybe even a backstory of how she got to the role she was and who she is.
I don't think we'll get that.
It's in this a little too early for that.
Yeah.
But yeah, I mean, I'm just full of questions right now. So out comes Elodie, right?
Out comes a girl, which we didn't know, but we assume that's her daughter. It's Elodie.
That's the girl from the picture.
She has the same dreads. She has the same hair, everything. Yeah.
All right. So she's holding a cake, and she says it's all done. Shall I take it over? And
the owner of the shop.
The owner of the shop says, yeah, you go ahead and deliver it to so-and-so. Right. I forgot the names.
Fenderson's house or something.
But at this time, we get an awesome panel of both Michonne and Elodie looking at each other. Yeah. Michonne's just like, it's my baby.
It's me, baby.
Or it's me, baby.
It's mommy. It's mama. And she drops the cake, and it's a beautiful hug embrace. And Michonne has found her daughter. Which is just
goosebumps,
unreal. I mean, from knowing just little parts of her backstory that she has daughters. Yeah. That one of them is alive.
Yeah, and gosh, going from issue 19, first appearance of Michonne, I'm guessing shortly after that is when we found out that she had a daughter. What was issue? 30 something?
130.
Oh, really? Was that late?
It was 130 something. We did a video on it, but yeah.
I mean, being introduced to this character in issue 19 all the way to 176, and she's finally reunited with her daughter. That's a long time.
It's a long time.
Very long time.
But I just find it really great. I mean, it's humanizing everything. It's giving some further depth to Michonne's character, which I absolutely love.
Yeah, absolutely. And think about it this way, and this goes upon the length part that I was talking about. There was even a 2-year gap after 127.
Yeah.
So it's been a long time since she's seen her daughter. And to get that is great.
Yeah.
Really great.
Really great.
One thing I do want to note, it was in the letter hacks. Like, I just read the first part of the letter hacks. Someone noted 2 issues of good news.
Yes.
That can't be good.
Yeah.
Yeah. Like, something bad has got to be happening or coming here.
And stay tuned for another video. There was also another big reveal in the letter hacks from Robert Kirkman, so stay tuned for our other video for that.
Yeah, definitely. Also, guys, there is a preview in the back of this issue for Robert Kirkman's new series called Oblivion Song. So if you have not had a chance to check out that preview, definitely check it out.
Comes out March 7th. Oblivion Song, his new series. It looks really cool.
Yeah, and we most likely will be reviewing that.
We will be doing that. So stay tuned. So let us know what you guys' thoughts are for 176. A powerful issue. Loved it.
Yep.
Absolutely loved it.
Definitely.
All right, guys.
Thanks, guys.
Yep. So stay tuned for more. Hit that like button and subscribe to the channel if you're new. And we will see you later. We're NocBro Nation.
We're out.